Hey people, how are you all doing out there? Right, just a quick unboxing and a quick review of the ERBAUER 1600 watt plasters, whisk, paddle, whatever you want to call it. Disclaimer, I'm not a plasterer by trade, I'm a carpenter joiner, but over the years I have picked up bits of knowledge about plastering, so I'm not going to say I'm a plasterer, but I can plaster to a reasonable finish. My dad was a plasterer by trade, so I did do a little bit with him while back years ago. Anyway, what I normally used, like most of us, was just the whisk, the paddle, the mixing stick that would go into a drill, a normal corded drill or a cordeless drill, and I mix up that way and use that basically. Done it for years, like probably all of you out there. It's okay, but it totally knackers up the shaft on your drill because of the force involved in spinning that in thick plaster. You've got to have electric, or you've got to have a bunch of batteries wherever you are to do the plastering. Years ago, going back, when I used to help my dad do some plastering jobs, I had to mix it with a stick, the old-fashioned way, stick against the shoulder, round and round and round in a bucket. Horrendous. Anyway, I digress. So I've been wanting to pick up a whisk or a paddle, whatever you want to call them. Like I said, I'm not a plasterer, for a while, but up until recently they've been kind of prohibitively expensive. Oh, big word. But yeah, I found one in a local tool supplier, ironmonger, merchant we'll call it. God damn it, Screwfix. Their own brand, ERBAUER. It's a 1600 watt motor. 2 paddles, or whisks, whatever you want to call them. 3 meter cord. Variable speed. Does the job. I got to be honest, I've unboxed it and I have used the paddle on a couple of jobs already, so I can give you a short review. We'll get into the unboxing. The model number is, I'm looking down there, is the ERBAUER EPM 1600. Let's get into it. Stay tuned. Here's the box. Like I said, I have opened it and used it a few times. It's quite a large box, so I'll try and get what I can in shot. But basically, it comes with 2 paddles. One is the solid ring paddle, and the other is more, I think that'd be for more like paints and that type thing. 2 keys is 300 to 750 a minute RPM. It's got an aluminium gearbox in there, and I think it's 140mm paddles, but it's got a 3 meter cord. That's the box all round with the cords. Yep, 140mm paddles. It's variable speed. So opening the box up, like I said, I have had this out of the box and used it, so it's better packed than this. Am I still in shot? Yeah. You've got the obligatory instruction manual. Now the only thing I will say with this particular model is that it's a brushed model, but the brushes are not changeable. So I think once the motor or the brushes go, other than taking it to bits yourself, it's like a disposable machine, which they give a 3-year warranty anyway, so we'll have a look at that. So in the box you have your 2 changing spanners, and they both 22mm. You've got 2 paddles, which you've got like a round bar paddle, and you've got a flat bar paddle. Now I used the flat bar paddle for the few times that I've used it. I haven't used the round bar yet, and this, I got to be honest, mixed up the mix in minutes compared to the old drill whisk. So that's the second paddle that comes through. They are a standard thread that goes into the machine. We'll see that in a little bit. And then you've got the machine itself. Now obviously I've wound the cord around, but it's double handle machine. You've got variable speed. A lock on switch is there to lock him on. It's quite weighty, I gotta be honest. 1600 watt, 3 to 750 revolutions a minute, maximum of 140 mil paddle. So I'll move the box, bring you in, and we'll have a look at connecting one of the paddles up. Alright, so I thought I'd bring you in just to give you a quick closer look at the machine itself. It's got these bump stops. If I turn him, he is unplugged at the moment, so don't panic. You've got these upstand bump stops on the four corners, which I like, because then when you put the whisk down, you're not going to damage anything. Nice textured, really grippy handles, which are attached with, I think it's a 5 mil, maybe a 6 mil thick plate to the actual body of the motor by these set screws. There's your variable speed, and then obviously, like I said, you've got a lock off trigger underneath that you pull up and then push that in with your thumb to lock on. It's quite heavy. I'm not sure exactly the weight, but you've got to be looking between 3 and 4 kilo probably, but that's good because that's all down weight then. And as I said, it's got a standard threaded insert. So I'll put it back on the tripod and we'll have a look at inserting one of the whisks, and we'll have a quick run and a wrap up. Okay, fitting on one of the paddles couldn't be easier. Like I said, you just offer up the paddle. I hope we're not in the way. The threaded end into the collar, and then it's just a case of wind him in till he seats, and then you use your spanner. You've got shoulders on the collet and obviously spanner, just pinch them together and that's it. That's your paddle fitted. Like I said, it's got a variable speed, so I'll pull back with the camera now. I'll hold the paddle upright, the whisk upright, and you can see it actually running. So it's got, get the lead out of the way. Like I said, you've got the trigger underneath. It's a soft start as well. And then you've got your lock on button. And then you've got your variable speed. So I'll go from minimum and work my way up to max. Now I always had it set on the second speed when I was doing my plaster mixes, and I found that to be just right. It wasn't flicking out anyway, but it was quick enough to mix and yeah, strong enough. So that. And then to remove the paddle, or to change to the other paddle if you want, I'll just unplug him. It's simply a case of undoing our nut and winding him back out, and then obviously you can change for the other paddle. So I'll give you my thoughts. We'll have a quick wrap up and I'll give you my thoughts and see what you think. Alright, like I said, just a quick little unboxing and a short review of the EMP 1600, the ERBAUER plasters mixing whisk paddle machine, whatever you want to call it. I've had it for probably nearly 2 months now, and I've used it on several jobs, small jobs, and to be honest, I can't find fault with it. There's plenty of guts in the motor. The variable speed is really good because, as I said, I always keep it around the 2 to 3 level mark. That way I find the plaster isn't flying everywhere, but it's still enough strength to get a nice creamy mix. It has a soft start function, which again I find is good. If you put your water in, then your powder on top, you haven't got any powder flying everywhere. You've got that soft, controllable start. Handles, really grippy. Machine is a little bit on the heavy side, but I think that's a good thing because that then is translated into downward weight into the mix that helps you stir that mix round. Paddles, again, I've only used the flat bladed paddle. I haven't used the round bar paddle yet, and I don't know if that's right or wrong for plastering. As I said, I'm not a plasterer, but I find it works really well. The flat blade paddle mixes really fast and it brings in nice and creamy for the mix. If there are plasterers who want to watch and comment down below, please comment if I'm using the wrong paddle, if I should be using the round bar paddle for plaster, finishing plaster. Multi-finish is what I use. Please comment below, let me know. I don't profess to be a fantastic plasterer, but I can get a reasonably good finish. I'll throw in a photo at the end of my most recent wall that I done for a friend recently using the mixer. But yeah, I got to be honest, I would have liked to have had changeable brushes in the motor, but I can't see it being that difficult if the brushes do go to taking the motor apart and fitting new brushes anyway. It would have been nice if the facility was there, but it's not a deal breaker really. Like, as I said, it does come with a 3-year warranty anyway. So yeah, apart from that, a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.